UFC 322 just took place, and it's whatever. It doesn't even matter. It's just sports. It's just sports. Who even cares that JDM lost? It's just sports. None of this even matters that much, you know. It's not a big deal at all. Yeah, it's fine. Who cares? That sucked. It did. That was a really stinky main event. Co-main event also sucked. But of course, as usual, we'll go through the entire card top to bottom. We'll start with the main events. Dominant win for Islam Makhachev. Dominant win. I'll give credit where credit's due. This was a one-sided fight. He controlled all 5 rounds of this fight. Was very dominant on the ground. His top control is unreal. It's amongst the best. It looked like prime Habib at 155. That's what Islam Makhachev looked like at 170. It was some impressive stuff. Very hard to watch though. Very boring. We'll get into the co-main event. Don't worry about that. Yeah, it's Islam timed all the takedowns really well. Anytime Jack was coming forward, he timed them perfectly. Got to the hips, immediately got the takedown. In the first round, he was able to get that single leg where he was able to get him up on one leg and sweep out the back leg. I talked about that in the breakdown video I did, which that could have worked in Islam's favor, and it did. And yeah, going on from there, I mean, you could just see how hesitant JDM was on the feet. Yeah, he wasn't committing to any of his strikes. He didn't want to overextend, didn't want to throw the body kick at all, which I thought the teep would be pretty useful in this fight. But obviously, with Islam Makhachev being able to catch up a leg and get the takedown from it, he didn't want to throw the body kick, understandably. So yeah, just complete one-way traffic in this fight. Islam Makhachev gets it done, and I'll give credit where credit's due. Albeit it was boring, it was an impressive performance to display that level of dominance, and I think he's the GOAT of the sport. I think he's the GOAT of the sport. Whether you want to include steroid cheats like John Jones or not, even if you want to have John Jones in the criteria, I still think Islam's the GOAT of the sport. I mean, his resume is pretty much unmatched. That's really impressive stuff. So good performance from Islam Makhachev. Not a fun one, but he gets it done by unanimous decision. He is now a 2-weight world champion. So, moving on. Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. Similar story here. Valentina Shevchenko looked good on the feet, though, too. She was very patient. She was waiting to go second. She'd wait for Zhang Weili to kind of blitz in, and she'd find counter shots. She was landing really good shots to the body throughout the fight. There was a couple times during that fight. I think at round 1, she landed a huge knee when Zhang Weili came crashing in, and she kind of caused Zhang Weili to go down because of it. I wouldn't classify it as a knockdown, but she was able to hurt her really bad with it, and Zhang Weili went to her back, and Shevchenko controlled her from there on out. Then in round 3 or 4, she was slamming body kicks, really hurting Zhang Weili with them. So impressive performance on the feet. Similar to the main event, another very, very boring fight. A lot of laying and controlling. So not the most fun, but Valentina Shevchenko, huge win for her, defends her flyweight belt, and yeah, I guess Natalia Silva's next for her. I guess we'll see. I mean, Erin Blanchfield, she got a submission win, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but not too sure she's done enough to get a title shot next, especially having lost to Manon Fiorot in such a dominant way, who Valentina Shevchenko's already beat. I think Natalia Silva makes a lot more sense, but still, we'll see what's next for Shevchenko. Impressive performance from her, similar to the main event, just dominance. But in this case, I think the size difference showed. Another thing I want to mention too is they claimed that there was a 1-inch height disadvantage for Zhang Weili. She looked at least 3 inches shorter than Valentina Shevchenko. If people are betting money on these fights, I think maybe the UFC should get something as important as that accurate, because Valentina Shevchenko towered over her in the cage, and that size advantage showed. I mean, I guess when you're fighting at such a low weight class like 115 and you're going up 10 pounds, that much of a difference is so much more drastic than if we're talking about someone moving up from 45 to 55 as a men's fighter or something like that. So yeah, dominant win from Valentina Shevchenko. Really used her big size advantage to her advantage, I suppose, and gets the dominant win, 50-45, I believe, across all 3 scorecards. Wasn't close at all. Moving on to the feature fight, some action we got here. Michael Morales gets it done, round 1 KO over Sean Brady. Sean Brady, I don't know what his game plan was with this one. It was quite bizarre. He didn't really shoot a takedown until he had already been hurt. Michael Morales was he was standing on the front foot. He was kind of patiently waiting to find his shots, and once he did, he hurt Sean Brady bad. I mean, there was one time earlier in the round where he cracked him bad. And he had Sean Brady wobble all over the place. I think he may have even knocked him down, but Brady was able to recover, stay in it, and then after that, any takedown attempt from Sean Brady was kind of easily defended, and he was left on the feet. Michael Morales was patient, waiting for his shot. He found an opening. Eventually, Sean Brady kind of overextended on a big shot, and Michael Morales clobbered him with the overhand that really shook his head all over the place. Sean Brady didn't get knocked out cold. He got TKO'd. I'm surprised he's able to take the shots he did, but Morales put it on him. I mean, he got his ass beat. So huge win for Michael Morales, especially following the Carlos Prates knockout. He really, I don't want to say stole the thunder because that Carlos Prates knockout was still incredible. But yeah, he really did a good job at staking that claim to the next shot at the welterweight belt. Now that is if Ilya doesn't move up, which I mean I don't think that Ilya fight would be after how the Ilya or Islam versus JDM fight played out. I don't think there's much interest, in my opinion, in Islam versus Ilya. I think we'll see a very similar result, but that's probably the fight the UFC will make because there's so much money to be made from that fight. But I think Michael Morales, after the win like that over the number one contender, number one or number two, I think Sean Brady might have dropped down to number two because Bilal lost the belt. But with a win like that over the guy who's supposed to be next in line, yeah, he really put himself at the top of the heap there. Moving on, Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates. Prates gets it done, round two knockout, nasty flatline KO, really nasty stuff, straight right down the middle, lands right on the chin of Leon Edwards. I knew that shot would be there, and it was. I started to get worried after round one, though, because Leon Edwards was able to get the grappling going. He was able to get Prates down. There was a point where he was on his back at the end of round one, landing some shots. He was also, I think there's a point earlier in the round where he had taken him down and he was controlling him on the ground. So I was really worried that Leon would be able to stall out Prates on the feet, wouldn't allow him to get going and land some big shots. And I thought he'd be, at that point after round one, I thought he'd be able to implement the grappling and coast to a decision win. But Prates in round one, they stay standing for a little bit, and he just snipes him right down the middle. Straight right hand, landed straight on the chin. Leon Edwards sinks back, and his head snaps back. And then Prates lands a nasty follow-up shot. Leon didn't go out cold, but he had no idea where he was. He was looking all over the place. So yeah, nasty knockout by Carlos Prates. No doubt that he's getting a 50K bonus off this one. Well, there's actually a lot of guys who got some nasty KOs, so maybe not, but I'd venture to say that he will get a 50K bonus. Yeah, really great performance from him, and yeah, I was worried. His grappling defense, it was tested a little bit. He did all right. He stayed out of any bad positions, didn't get subbed. Did get controlled a little bit in round one, but in round two, he didn't even let Leon get a chance to shoot the takedown before he put him out. So, hell of a win by Carlos Prates. Really nice knockout. Moving on, Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint Denis. Not much to talk about here. Benoit gets it done in 15, 16 seconds, whatever it was. Yeah, 16 it says right there. Beneil Dariush's chin is gone, eviscerated. I should have known that after he got dropped by Renato Moicano. That should have been a pretty telltale sign. But, yeah, Benoit just the first... I might have been the first punch he landed. He landed 3 strikes, and one of them was the follow-up shot after he already knocked him out. So he landed one shot. It was probably... Now, Beneil landed a nice low kick early. He landed a really nice low kick that kind of took Benoit off balance. It actually kind of took his leg out from under him and forced Benoit to shoot it on a takedown, which he didn't get. It got stuffed by Dariush. But they ended up in sort of a clinch scenario, kind of like a tie clinch. And I think Beneil threw some knees to the body, and Benoit threw like an uppercut and then a left hook over the top of Beneil Dariush's arms, and he put him down out cold. Dariush sunk face first in the canvas, was immediately out. Follow-up shot didn't help at all. Yeah, he was out cold. Dariush's chin is it's gone. I mean, got knocked out cold by Arman Tsarukyan, got head kicked and put down and TKO'd by Charles Oliveira. Yeah, if you can't, it wasn't like a type of shot from Benoit where he got his jaw spun and it was like rattling his brain around. It was a pretty simple just left hook landed on the temple, and it should have rocked him, no doubt about it. It was a big shot, but to put him out cold like that, his chin is fucking gone. So, yeah, probably time to retire for Beneil Dariush, and great win for Benoit Saint Denis. He's back. I'd say I don't want to say he's a number one contender or a top contender or anything. Joe Rogan was asking in the post fight interview, he was saying, I think I was in Buffalo Wild Wings, so I couldn't hear too clearly, but I know he mentioned something about possibly asking for a title shot. What are we fucking talking about? Joe Rogan has been clueless when it comes to post fight interviews, dating back to that. Are you talking about Paddy Pimblett thing to Ilya Taporia? Yeah, stop letting him fucking interview people. It's a mess. Anyways, yeah, Benoit gets it done. Nasty knockout, 16 seconds in. And we move on to the prelims. Speaking of nasty knockouts, Bo Nickel gets it done. Let me get it centered right there. Nasty, nasty KO from Bo Nickel. Flatline KO, put him out cold with a head kick. First couple rounds, the first round, early on in round one, he was able to get the takedown, get Rodolfo Vieira against the fence on his knees, and he was wailing on him. He looked really aggressive early on, which is what I wanted to see from Bo Nickel. He'd go to that wrestling early and just and dominate using it. And he was able to do that early in round one. Round two started to be a little bit slow. It was kind of just tit for tat on the feet. Not a whole lot going on. It was pretty low output, but he won the first two rounds convincingly. And then round three, about halfway through, nasty head kick KO, puts Rodolfo Vieira out cold. Yeah, he was out bad. It was a nasty head kick. And yeah, Bo Nickel, he did look. I'll give it to him. He didn't look worlds better than he has on the feet in the past, but he looked good. His jab was nice. He was timing that step in jab really nice. He ended up having Rodolfo Vieira's face all bloodied up going into the third round of that fight. So he was landing with the jab really good. He was timing his overhand pretty well. His kicks were there a bit. It wasn't world class stuff on the feet, but it was a step up from fights in the past, like the Paul Craig one and the Reinier de Ritter one. So he's shown improvements, and yeah, he's got finishing potential. I mean, that's two knockouts in the UFC now. I think I want to say he had one of the Contender Series as well. I might be wrong. I know he had a triangle submission on there, but regardless, yeah, it's two knockouts in the UFC now. So he's a threat on the feet. He's not a slouch. He is not a slouch. So hell of a win by Bo Nickel. Completely one-sided, and then he got the head kick KO to top it off. Great win from him. Great bounce back from the last fight. Moving on, Roman Kopylov versus Gregory Rodriguez. Oh, Roman Kopylov reminds me of something with Rodolfo Vieira. Vieira had no output in that fight. He was just a punching bag. I don't know what his plan was, but yeah, for rounds 2 and 3, he was throwing nothing pretty much. And that's a good segue into the Roman Kopylov fight. He threw fucking nothing as well. Just a punching bag for Gregory Rodriguez. He did have some moments of success in late in round 3, I want to say it was. Early in round 3, he actually hurt RoboCop with a overhand right that he timed pretty perfectly and spun his jaw with, and RoboCop was kind of wobbling around for a moment, and then at the end I want to say he landed a decent combination, followed it up with a head kick. Didn't have RoboCop in any trouble, but I think I had Roman Kopylov winning round 3 of that fight. It was competitive, but rounds 1 and 2 easily went to RoboCop. I mean, it was one-sided. He was the only one throwing anything. He was throwing a lot of that. It was like a lead hook and followed by a straight right. Just kept pinging Kopylov's head back, kept knocking him back. Wasn't doing any serious damage, but he was the only one throwing anything for the first 2 rounds, and he just wins off output alone. He also had really good body work too. I think that's kind of been exposed as an area where you can exploit Kopylov's game. If you get those body kicks going, he kind of just stops throwing. I don't know if it's something where you're hitting him on the arms and maybe damaging the arms, so he doesn't want to throw them anymore. But it's weird. Whenever you get that body kick going, Kopylov just becomes a punching bag pretty much. Looks quite a bit like the Paulo Costa fight for the first couple rounds. Yeah, great win for RoboCop. Yeah, it was pretty boring outside of round 3. That's when they really started scrapping, but it wasn't boring because of RoboCop. It was boring because of Kopylov. It was just no output from him. So good win for Rodriguez. Not the most exciting fight, but he got it done, and that's what matters. Moving on, Aaron Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez. Now, I picked Tracy Cortez counting on the low fight IQ of Aaron Blanchfield. And after round 1, I'm thinking, holy shit, I got a big underdog pick because Blanchfield is fucking clueless on the feet. But in round 2, after losing on the feet as well, She finds a takedown. I think Cortez works her way back up, but Blanchfield immediately blasts another double leg, gets to the hips, and like takes her down all the way across the octagon. They're like running from end to end of the octagon. Blanchfield gets her down, and it's kind of a weird rear naked choke submission. She wasn't on the back, didn't have any hooks in or anything. It was kind of like a bulldog choke, but they're laying on their backs. It was bizarre. I don't know how she pulled off the submission, but she gets it done. Round 2 sub late against Tracy Cortez, gets the win there. Round 1 I had scored to Tracy Cortez. I think it was going how I kind of expected it to go, where Blanchfield looked pretty clueless on the feet. She was doing those charging combinations where she was just kind of throwing wildly. The best way to explain it is the Juliana Pena punches against Amanda Nunes, where she's just rushing in, going and then gets dropped on her ass. Aaron Blanchfield was doing a bunch of that in round 1. Cortez was getting the boxing going, looking pretty good. She won round 1 pretty clearly, I think, and then in round 2 is where Blanchfield started to implement the grappling, got the submission late, and yeah, good win for her. Trace Cortez isn't a slouch. That's a pretty good win for Aaron Blanchfield. So I would say, I know that Manon Fiorot fight is still kind of leaves a sour taste in our mouth, and I don't think Aaron Blanchfield is super high level, but I'd say she's one more fight away from a title shot at the flyweight division. So we'll move on. This one, quite the surprise. Ethan Ewing gets it done over Malcolm Wellmaker. Very clearly too. I think he arguably could have won all 3 rounds of this fight. I had it 29-28 to him. I thought he got hurt really bad by one of those check hooks from Malcolm Wellmaker in round 1. But he recovered well, and he was landing really big shots in the pocket. He was looking really dangerous there. Malcolm Wellmaker, he was trying to roll his shots and cover up, and he was ducking and weaving a lot, but what would end up happening is he keeps ducking into big shots, and he kept ducking into the head kick a lot too. That was there for Ewing. And I'll tell you what, Wellmaker has a good chin. His chin held up well, because I think a lot of other guys would have got finished by the shots he was taking in that fight. But Ethan Ewing, man, he was just putting it on him. He had more output, had more volume. He was really dangerous in the pocket. He was making Wellmaker pay for any time he overextended. And yeah, I think he got caught by that. He got caught by that check hook, the patented Malcolm Wellmaker check hook in round 1. But he ate it, he recovered, and he went on to win this fight. He was dominant. He also had really big knees up the middle. He was really fucking Wellmaker up. I'm surprised Wellmaker stayed in there and didn't get finished. I mean, it was a really impressive performance from Ewing. And I know this fight says up there that it took place at featherweight. Obviously, it's because it's short notice. Ewing was a last-minute fill-in. I think he took this fight on like 48 hours notice, I think. It was, I'm blanking on the guy's name. Cody Haddon. He was originally scheduled to fight Wellmaker, and like I think the day, maybe it was the day before the weigh-ins. Yeah, it was the day before the weigh-ins. Hadden pulled out. It was like right after the what's it called? The press conference. Right after the press conference, word broke that Hadden was out. So Ewing was in there on super short notice, and he looked really good, man. The high kick was there. He was landing that all night. His pocket boxing was really, really dangerous. Landed some big shots on Wellmaker. He also, I think he had like a really, maybe it was Wellmaker who got it. Someone had a really big slam in round 1. Maybe it was Wellmaker. But either way, rounds 2 and 3 very clear to Ewing. He ran away with this one, and a very impressive performance from him. I don't know what you're gonna do with Wellmaker from here. It sucks for him because he did take the fight on short notice against a guy he knows nothing about. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can build him back up, give him some more Chris Moutinho level guys, I guess. Not that low, but maybe rebook the Surrey City fight. Give him someone on that level and try and rebuild them. But Ethan Ewing, potential star. I mean, it's like a white Diego Lopez here. Stepping on short notice, except he gets the win. Ewing gets the win. Stepping in on short notice, a guy from the regional scene, nobody knows anything about him. He goes toe-to-toe with one of the top prospects in the division, and he wins. So a very impressive performance from him. Yeah, Wellmaker didn't look terrible, but there was a lot of holes in his game that were exposed in this fight. So a lot to shore up with his game. Very impressive performance from Ewing, though. Moving on, early prelims. Kyle Dawkins gets an early finish over Gerald Mearshart. I could tell from, it was like 3 seconds in. Dawkins, he landed a 1-2 straight down the pipe, and it didn't hurt Mearshart too well, but he was able to find the range so quickly and land a clean shot flush on the chin of Mearshart within just a few seconds of the fight, and you knew it was going to be over quick. He ended up sitting him down, caught him straight on the chin. I want to say it was a straight right that sat him down. but he knocked down Mearshart, and then I think he landed another shot as he was going down. Mearshart kind of shot in, and Kyle Dawkins latched up a Darce choke, and he ended up getting it done. I just found out tonight his nickname's the Darce Knight, and I guess that's with good reason. He gets the Darce choke over a great grappler in Gerald Mearshart. Yeah, it was not much to talk about here. It's kind of similar to the Benoit fight where there's just nothing left to talk about because it ended so quickly. But Kyle Dawkins, man, he's back. I know Gerald Mearshart's not very good at this stage in his career. He was on a 3-fight losing streak going into this. One of those losses being to Brad Tavares, which if you're losing to Brad Tavares in 2024 or 2025, whenever that fight was, not a good look. So, yeah, I mean, not the most impressive opponent to beat for Kyle Dawkins, but a hell of a win, a hell of a showing. And I think just the cherry on top is him getting a submission over such a good grappler in Gerald Mearshart. So great performance from Kyle Dawkins, big win for him. And I don't know, maybe looking to someone right outside the top 15. I think he's, that win on short notice against Michel Pereira was very impressive. And now he's got a dominant win in round one over an established veteran in the division. So give him one more fight, and then I think maybe if he wins that one, top 15 for Kyle Dawkins next. Moving on, Pat Sabatini versus Shep Mariscal. Just grappling dominance from Shep Mariscal, or not Shep Mariscal, quite the opposite, from Pat Sabatini. He was able to control him all fight. He was able to find dominant position, get the back, get the body triangle in, and just control him from there. I thought Shep Mariscal would be too explosive and too good at scrambling, but I think Pat Sabatini, they were mentioning on the broadcast, he's taken a lot of grappling matches recently. Obviously, he's always been known to be an elite-level grappler, but even against really explosive guys like Joe Anderson Brito as well, he's just really good at keeping control. So, my guy Diego Lopez, that wins aging better and better as the day goes on. That makes me happy. But yeah, Sabatini, hell of a win for him. Just one-way traffic. Mariscal, he looked all right in round one. He was able to get a reversal, I think, at the end of round one and spend some time on top and land some big shots on the feet. There was a weird moment at the end of round one, too, where I don't know if Pat Sabatini thought the round was over, but he kind of just turned away and started walking away, and Shep Mariscal just launched a head kick up at him, and it landed clean. It would have been hilarious if Sabatini got knocked out cold from it, but he ate it. But it was so bizarre. Like, there was like 3 seconds left, and he just starts walking away, and Mariscal just clobbered him with a head kick. Still a Pat Sabatini round one, no question. And then round 2 and 3, it's pure dominance on the ground from Pat Sabatini. Similar to the main and co-main, not too exciting, but still a one-way traffic and an impressive win for Pat Sabatini. And, for a guy who's had questions about his chin and his durability, to fight 2 really explosive guys back-to-back in Brito and Mariscal and to be able to just completely dominate them on the ground, really impressive stuff. And I think probably looking at a top 15 opponent next. I mean, maybe like Dan Ige. That seems to be the guy for like whenever veterans start to go on a little bit of a win streak, they just give him Dan Ige and see if they're ready for that test. So yeah, maybe that's the fight for him, but definitely think he's earned a top 15 opponent after his last 2 fights. Very impressive stuff from Pat Sabatini. Moving on. Angela Hill versus Fatima Klein. Fatima Klein looks... Oh, did not mean to click on that. Fatima Klein, she looks very good, though. She looks very good. Not in that way. But she's a damn good fighter. She is a very good fighter. Her striking is fucking good. Her striking is really, really good. Her jab, it was money. She was landing combinations all night on Angela Hill. She had some really nice kicks as well. She had this combination she would throw. It's the Whitaker combination, but it didn't look like Robert Whitaker. She's a lot lankier, but it'd be the 1-2 head kick where she had a lot of success landing that. She was landing that all night against Angela Hill. She's also landing a lot of big knees, a lot of good body work. She's landing body kicks. There was also a moment at the end of the fight where they were both getting up from the ground, where Fatima Klein had top control. They were both getting up to their feet. She threw a spinning back fist, landed clean on the chin of Angela Hill, and then followed it up with a head kick on the other side and rocked her really bad. Angela Hill survived it, of course. She has a great chin. Angela Hill survived it. It was at the very end of the fight, so not too much of a worry for Angela Hill. But if there was more time left, she probably would have gone on to get finished. So Fatima Klein, she looks really fucking sharp on the feet. Really good fighter. She could be a problem at strawweight. So, yeah, just a dominant performance from her. She also looked really good on the ground, too. Angela Hill's not a slouch. Angela Hill did look solid in this fight. I mean, it was a one-way traffic for Fatima Klein. She won all 3 rounds. But Angela Hill had some moments of success, and she showed that she's really durable and still can hang, and she's still a well-rounded fighter. So Fatima Klein breezing through her like that, it was a pretty impressive benchmark to set for her. She showed that she's one of the top fighters in this division. So I'm looking forward to what's next for her. And moving on to the prelim. Oh no, we got two more fights. My apologies. Two more fights. Bisengur Susurkayev got a round 3 knockout over Eric Makhachev. I wanted Susurkayev to get knocked out so bad. I really did. I did because he is a cocky bastard. He doesn't seem to have any respect for his opponents, and that's what got him in trouble against Eric Nolan in his first fight. And that's what got him in trouble early in this fight. When the fight started, he was like leaning up against the cage, just like smiling at Makhachev. And Makhachev was just like, all right, and just charged in and got the clinch and held him against the cage for a minute. Makhachev, he was also on the pressure early. He was landing the better shots, I'd say, in round 1. Landed more as well. I believe I can check the stats right here. I don't think those numbers are accurate at all, but all right. They have Susurkayev up 52-36 in round 1, which I don't know how they had Susurkayev landing 52 strikes, but whatever. I still had Makhachev winning the round. He was the guy on the front foot. He was landing the better shots, landing the more effective shots. There was a couple times where he tagged Susurkayev and didn't really hurt him or anything. It wasn't like he was in any trouble, but landed some clean shots on him. And I also think he had some clinch control in that round. Then round 2, early on in round 2, Susurkayev hurts him pretty bad, and Makhachev was like on the fence, trying to stay alive, trying to stay in the fight, and he lands a nasty groin shot, like flush kick right down the middle on Susurkayev's private parts, we'll say. Yeah, landed flush. Susurkayev immediately curled up in a ball on the ground, was in a ton of pain. I think they should have taken a point from Makhachev for that. I mean, you're talking about a potential finishing sequence there that gets stopped from an egregiously bad groin shot. But, of course, referees don't take points for fouls. We know this now. So, yeah, nothing came of it. But, Susurkayev started to build that momentum back up in round 2. And then in round 3, landed a really, really slick right hand down the pipe, I want to say, off the counter. Makhachev kind of overswang. And maybe it was a 1-2, but I know it was the right hand that followed it up that Susurkayev just caught him flush across the chin with. Eric Makhachev went stiff for a moment and then fell down, and Susurkayev, I don't even think he followed it up. I think he just walked it off. Got a walk-off KO. Really nice stuff from him. He's good. I just I don't want to see him fight in such a, in such a manner where he shows no respect for his opponents early on in fights. It's dangerous because you're going to get caught eventually. He got caught by a short notice welterweight. He got tagged a bit by Eric Makhachev. These are not high-level fighters. Whenever he's going up against a guy that's going to punish him for that, it's going to be a problem. So I'd like to see him start a little earlier and not be so cocky. I know Hamzat Chimaev was singing his praises and stuff, so whatever. But yeah, Susurkayev, he's got to work on that. I'd like to see him start a little faster and stop being so, just relaxed. Not that you're not supposed. Not that it's not good to be relaxed in a fight, but don't be so just unconcerned about any danger your opponent presents. It's gonna get you chinned against higher level opponents. So that's one thing I'll say about Susurkayev. His striking defense is pretty poor as it stands right now, but man, he's really, really dynamic on the feet. He's just a level above these guys when it comes to athleticism. He's got really nice body work, good body kicks, really good knees to the body. And he has really good combinations as well. Whenever he gets guys hurt and he gets them backed up against the fence, he swarms them and he lands big shots. That flying knee is also pretty dangerous. He came close to landing that against Makhachev tonight. So, yeah, Susurkayev is really, really good on the feet. He's got the grappling as well. Of course, he's Hamzat's training partner, so great grappling, offense and defense. He's good in all areas there. He's a very talented fighter. He can't be fighting in such a manner like that early in fights, or else he's going to pay for it eventually. So, moving on to the card opener, Vyacheslav Borshev versus Mateusz Camilo. Now, I missed round 1 of this fight, but round two. God, I don't even have any notes about this. Yeah, I kind of forgot about this fight. There's been so many tonight. Camilo won pretty clearly, though. I did keep up with what they were saying in round 1, where Camilo was able to get some grappling control, probably win the round off that, although Borshev was landing some decent shots during that round. But that's kind of what it came down to. Camilo was able to get more control time. He was landing a lot better in round 3 of that fight. It was probably pretty even on the strikes. They may have even had Borshev ahead, but Mateusz Camilo, Borshev, he kept throwing. He wouldn't throw in any combinations at all. He would just throw one power shot. He would load up on one big shot, throw it, and that was it. And Camilo would find the counter off that, and he'd land some good shots of his own. There was one point in round 3 where he rocked Borshev pretty bad. In the early rounds of this fight, just was able to establish that grappling control. Vyacheslav Borshev's not a good grappler at all. He was able to survive not getting submitted this fight, but Camilo was able to get enough control to bank those first 2 rounds, and then it's pretty even on the feet in round 3. But I thought Camilo was a little bit ahead, so pretty clear win from him. Not the most impressive stuff. I would have liked to see him get a finish, especially because for a guy who had Gabe Green in a little bit of trouble in his first fight in the UFC, I would think he'd have a little bit more success on the ground against Vyacheslav Borshev, but I guess not. Maybe Borshev has been drilling submission defense nonstop. Maybe that's what it is. But still, good win for Camilo. Moves himself to 1-1 in the UFC. And yeah, that's it for this card. If you watched this far, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I would appreciate greatly if you liked and subbed as well. That would mean a lot. And that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.